Attorney Sal, kahapon po ay hindi po natin nabasa ang inyong weekly column sa The Manila Times at ngayon ay babasahin po natin ngayon ang column ninyo na entitled The Looming Sara Presidency. In the 2022 presidential elections, Vice President Sara Duterte had the presidency for the taking. All the credible surveys put her on top of the presidential candidate's totem pole. The demure looker but feisty, when unjustly and vexingly provoked, then Davao City Mayor easily trashed the presidential hopefuls in popularity and trust ratings. In addition to her strong, redoubtable persona and sterling performance as a local chief executive, she inherited her father's unprecedented popularity as the heir to the throne, cementing her path to the presidency. To the shock and consternation of the millions of supporters and admirers, she slid to just being a running mate to the son and namesake of the late dictator, who undoubtedly, without her family name appendage to his, could not have won the top post and redeemed a most reviled, to the yellows and the leftists, name in Philippine history. In an unexpected twist subsequent to the overwhelming victory of the Marcos Duterte tandem, the anti-Duterte forces, led by a close kin of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., who that early had his sights on the 2028 presidential derby, forged an unholy alliance and began an orchestrated and systematic assault on the character and reputation of VP Sara. The left-leaning members of the House of Representatives, with the tacit cooperation of their erstwhile head, raised the bogey of VP Sara's alleged unlawful disbursement of confidential funds and launched a vicious black propaganda under the guise of a congressional investigation with the end in view of destroying her good image as a public servant. The investigating congressional committee members took turns in shaming her and bullying her administrative assistants, culminating in jailing her chief of staff. Not one to yield to the assault on her person and her staff, she fiercely fought back and broke away from the Uniteam and resigned her cabinet post. On cue, the anti-Duterte ilk in the lower house, in a brazen attempt to remove her from office and to disqualify her from running for president in 2028, filed 4 impeachment complaints that were consolidated into one. Not only were the grounds insanely imagined and stupidly absurd, including incredible grave threats against the president coming from a future dead vice president, they likewise transgressed the impeachment process, which violation led to its being declared unconstitutional by the Supreme Court. Simultaneous with the attempt to disqualify VP Sara from making a run in a 2028 presidential race, the administration, using a fractured and incoherent legal justification in blatant violation of the Constitution, effected the arrest, detention, and rendition of former President Rodrigo Duterte to the International Criminal Court. Not content with flaunting their power and displaying their arrogance, even as they bully and abuse resource persons during the congressional hearings, throwing them into detention centers. They targeted known supporters of the Dutertes, like the beleaguered religious leader, Pastor Apollo Quiboloy, and the Kingdom of Jesus Christ faithful, as well as critics of the administration, by prosecuting them with trumped-up charges. The money-hungry politicians, exhibiting insatiable greed, in cahoots with private contractors and Department of Public Works and Highways or DPWH officials, pocketed billions of pesos by way of ghost flood control projects, corruption incomparable in magnitude in the country's history. Yan po ang first part, Attorney.
Yung pong column natin na pinamagatan nating Looming Sara Presidency o sa wikang Pilipino, ang nalalapit, nakatakda o naaaninag na panguluhan ni BP Inday Sara. At sa mga unang talata, binalikan po natin. Nagbalik tanaw tayo sa nakaraan na nung nakarang panguluhan na halala ay kung gusto ni BP Sara na maging presidente ay kanyang-kanya na sana sapagkat ang lahat ng survey, credible surveys, SWS, PALS at kung ano-ano pa, siya po ang nangunguna at tinalo niya sa punto ng trust and approval rating ang mga kalaban niya sa Panguluhan. Subalit, sa hindi inaasahang pagkakataon, sa kinagulat ng milyon-milyon na naghihintay sa kanya na maging Pangulo ng Bansa, siya po ay bumaba sa pagkandidato sa presidente at siya ay naging vice presidente na lamang at nalikha na nga yung unity team at nakita naman natin na overwhelming ang kanilang pagkakapanalo at gaya ng sinabi natin, yun namang si Inday Sara talagang mananalo. Presidente nga, yung pang-vice presidente. At yun naman kanyang katandem na si Presidente Marcos Jr. Kaya lang naman nanalo ay dahil nakakabit ang pangalang Duterte sa kanyang pangalan. Dahil kung wala naman yon, talagang hindi siya mananalo. Mahihirapan siya. Yan po ang nakita natin. At nung manalo na nga, ito pong mga kontra Duterte, mga anti-Duterte forces sa pangunguna ng isang kamag-anak na malapit ng Pangulong Marcos Jr. ay lumikha ng isang alyansa ng mga nasa kaliwa at mga kalyado ni Presidente Marcos Jr. at inilatag ang pundasyon at patungo doon po sa 2020 na Panguluhan. Gusto niya maging presidente malapit, madalit sabi, yung head ng Kamara de Representante. At sinimulan na po nila ang sistematiko, orkestradong paninira sa katauhan at integridad ni BP Inday Sara. At nakita natin na sa mga congressional investigation, ipinakita nila hindi lamang ang kanilang kayabangan, hindi lamang ang kanilang pag-aabuso, hindi lamang ang kanilang paglabag sa karapatan ng mga resource persons, ipinakulong pa nila at pinaginitan pa nila. Yung staff ni BP Inday Sara, hiniya nila ron, tinakot nila ron, at hanggang humantong yung kanyang chief of staff, si Attorney Laika Lopez, ay ipinakulong nila. At itong si BP Inday Sara, siyempre naman, nakita naman natin ang kanyang karakter na hindi mo maaaring patahimikin. Ang ginawa niya po ay kumalas siya sa unity team at siya ay nagbitiw sa tungkulin at doon na nga nagsimula ang sunod-sunod na paninira sa kanya. Nagkaroon ng mga congressional investigation, yung mga kalyado ni Presidente Duterte at ni Inday Sara ay tinugis nila. Kagaya, halimbawa, ng religious leader na si Pastor Apollo Kibuloy at ang mga miyembro ng Kingdom of Jesus Christ kung saan sinalakay nila, sinira nila mga ari-arian at may mga pananakit pang ginawa. Ilang libo ba ang pinadala ng administrasyon para arestuin lamang si Pastor Apollo Kibuloy. At marami pang iba. Idinimanda nila, pinatawag nila sa Kongreso yung mga kritiko ng Administrasyong Marcos at hindi sila tumigil hanggang humantong ito sa pagsampa ng impeachment. Impeachment na hindi lamang katawa-tawa, kung hindi walang kabase-base sa saligang batas na ang layunin lamang doon sa nagsabwatan na grupo ng kamag-anak na malapit ni Pangulong Marcos Jr., pati na yung mga nasa kaliwa at ng mga nasa dilaw. At saka may nagsisipsip kay Pangulong Marcos Jr. na mga dating taga-suporta ni Presidente Duterte. dahil wala sa kapangyarihan at nakakulong na, nagsama-sama po sila. At nilabag nila ang saligang batas sa proseso ng impeachment. Mabuti na lamang at nandiyan ang Korte Suprema na pinawalang bisa at sinabing ito ay unconstitutional o labag sa saligang batas at ito ay ibinasura. Yan po ang naging kalakaran sa likod ng pagkapanalo ni Inday Sara at ang pagkalas niya sa Uniteam at ang paghihurak sa kanyang pangalan, persona, integridad, pati na lahat ng mga kaalyado ng Presidente Duterte.